Welcome back to WTOL 11 Your Day, where we love local businesses, local fun, local history from a formerly local author. Former WTOL 11 reporter Jennifer Boresz Engelking joins us this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's fun to be back.
Yeah, welcome back. And to bring folks up to speed, remind us when it was that you worked here and what you did.
So I was at WTOL in 2006 to 2008, and I worked on Your Morning and Your Day and the Noon Show, and sometimes did packages for shows later in the day. And there I am.
There she is. Yeah, bringing you.
It was shorter.
Hey, but you look fantastic then and now, and it's great to see you to come back here. I'm sure our viewers always ask, they're like, "What happened? What happened to her?" Well, So we're going to bring everybody up to speed. You've been doing some writing.
I have, yeah. So I loved being at WTOL, but my family's in Cleveland, so Northeast Ohio. So I came back here and I was writing for a PBS business show. I did some historical documentaries. I played a reporter in a movie in Unstoppable, which was fun. And I've always wanted to write a book. So I wrote a book about the area I live in.
So we know here on the Great Lakes, there's a lot of history here, and it's so interesting, and people are intrigued by it. So tell me exactly what your book details.
So my book is about Lake County, which is the smallest county in the state, and it actually almost didn't become a county because it was so small. But they found original surveyor maps that show that 2/3 of the county is under Lake Erie, which I thought was interesting. But my book covers, there's a shipwreck, as you can see there. That's actually a car coaster. So there was Willow Beach Amusement Park that actually was built in the same location where there was a shipwreck about 50 years earlier. So this roller coaster, people would drive their car up and then coast down into a ravine, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah.
And if you look at the photo, I think maybe they had different safety standards back then. But I mean, there's hidden tunnels. There's stories about war heroes. This is Amy Kokkonen. She was the first mayor in Ohio, and she was the mayor in Fairport Harbor, which is lakeside town in Lake County. And she was very young. She was a doctor, and she did not like how the direction she saw her town going in. There was a lot of crime, and it was during Prohibition. So she got elected mayor in her 20s, and she just got tough on the town and helped clean it up. So there's, being on the lake, as you know, with Toledo too, there's so many interesting connections to the past with, shipbuilding and the shipwrecks and Underground Railroad connections. So that's the Griffith, the GP Griffith, and that has a Toledo connection.
Yes.
It was built in Maumee 3 years before you see this drawing here of a fire that caused it to sink in 1850. And it sank in the city that I grew up in. So interesting tie that the ship that was built in the area that I worked in, years earlier had this really tragic shipwreck in the area that I grew up in. And that was actually one of my inspirations for the book, was just growing up as a kid and hearing not all the details, but knowing there was a shipwreck, and then years later that there was an amusement park in the same spot. And it just kind of stuck in the back of my mind all these years, and I wanted to dig into those stories a little bit more.
Yeah, you had to investigate a little bit more and write them up so that we can all enjoy it. And it sounds like there's like a lot of hidden gems, a lot of hidden history to detail here in this book. Was there something that really surprised you that you came across when you were putting the book together?
I think it's interesting. Oh, well, I mean, there are so many things.
Yeah.
I had so many stories that I had to really condense it down. And I'm writing another book called Lost Lake County. That's kind of a companion book to it. My biggest surprise, I think, is just how much history there is in our area in Lake County, along Lake Erie. When you start researching and you start talking to people and finding these amazing old newspaper articles, it just leads to other stories. So, I mean, that's one of the things I hope that reading my book encourages people to look into their own history in their neighborhoods and the city that they live in. I also thought it was fascinating how many stories of tunnels and, hidden compartments in homes that there are, and that I came across a number of old buildings that were physically moved from one location down the street. Just so many interesting
things. Kind of wild. Yeah, a lot to uncover. People are interested. They want to read the book. Where can they get it?
So It's available in stores and online, but if you go to my website, jenniferboresz.com, you can find a full listing of all the stores and the websites that are carrying it.
Wonderful. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good luck on your companion book, and it's good to see you back here on WTOL.
Thank you so much. It was fun. I appreciate it.
Yep, take care now.